In the new episode, we will visit the multifunctional sports complex in Nur-Sultan. We will talk to Serik Sapiev, the Olympic champion in boxing and the Val Barker Cup winner. Marat Asainov, president of the Kazakh Arm Wrestling Federation, will conduct the masterclass. Dear friends, it is hard to believe but 3 years ago there was nothing here, just nothing, and in a short period, in a residential area in the suburbs of Nur-Sultan, they constructed such a beautiful sports complex. It is a 2-story building with an area of 7,600 square meters. We don't often review entirely new buildings, but we do it with great pleasure every time. The sports complex officially started to operate in January 2020. After 2 months of operation, it was quarantined due to the coronavirus pandemic, and now it is gradually coming back to life. When the guests arrive, they see a dressing room and a spacious hall where they can find interesting design solutions. There are stylish upholstered furniture and tables in the form of chessboards. If there are chess pieces, you can play a game. By the way, there are a lot of pictures here, and they complement and enliven the interior. On this picture, we see Serik Sapiev, the champion of the Olympic Games in London. In front of him, there is the president of Kazakhstan, Kasim-Jomart, and members of the national table tennis team, as a reference to the fact that there is also a table tennis section. The walls in the sports complex are made of breathable material. Athletes can breathe well here, and the air itself is favorable for the training process. We provide everything to people with disabilities. Although there are 2 floors, there are 3 elevators, ramps. Let's start our tour with one of the most important rooms for any athlete. It's a gym. Here it is, spacious, bright, and most importantly, entirely new. It is important that on the wall we have a memo on how to avoid getting infected with the coronavirus. If during the pandemic you heard that the world would not be the same, here is the proof. Let's continue our tour. Next to the gym, there is a locker room. It is the men's locker room. Shall we come in? Well, why not? There are 8 locker rooms in the sports complex. All are designed in the same style. They are quite broad. There are lockers like this. Let's see what is inside the lockers. The availability of sauna in the building is the hallmark of a new building constructed to modern standards. There are 2 saunas in the sports complex, and they both are big. Let's have a look. Let's go to the center of the sports complex. It is an indoor gym. We can see even hints on the wall that people play volleyball, futsal. It's only 2,800 square meters, and everyone calls it the pride of the sports complex. So what we have here? First of all, there are treadmills. There are 6 treadmills, and I'm already walking on it. It's soft, it's nice. I want to run, jump. Next, there is this stand. It seats up 330 people. I think the viewers will feel comfortable here. The seats are pretty comfortable and also broad and look cheerful. The most important thing is the parquet. It meets all international standards. We can even hold a Kazakhstan championship on futsal or volleyball here. More than 10,000 people live in the village of Prigorodny. There is a school for 2,200 students. Now, within the framework of the President's program, they're going to construct fitness and health centers on the outskirts, in the capital. It was in Prigorodny that it was necessary. The residents asked for it for a long time. People also come here to train from the left bank of the city. In total, there are about 1,000 children training here, and that's not the limit. 58 mentors are working here, and we're going to meet one of them now. Let's go to the training of judoists. There are only 230 children in the judo section. I train 30 kids. During the quarantine, we had online training. We did push-ups, crunches. Approximately 90% of the children took part. We didn't sit around. We are in the martial arts gym now. This is one of the key halls of the sports complex, because here, in addition to judo, you can practice such sports as sambo, jiu-jitsu, muay thai, belt wrestling, Kazakh karate. Everything is free because the sports complex belongs to the state. A lot of children enroll in judo and karate. All sports that are trained here are popular. Our kids love martial arts. In the multi-purpose hall, we have designated an area for children to practice asigatu. In the village at school, they organized training. As the hall opened, they moved to this hall. It's spacious. About 40 children are training. The management also has plans to organize a medical center, backyard clubs, and a community center for the elderly here. That is, very soon, the sports complex will work for all segments of the population. So, for a child to train here, all he or she has to do is to come here to say, I want to train, and he or she will train here for free. The parents have to come write an application, provide the doctor's certificate that the child is healthy and can attend the sports section. I don't know about everyone, but for me the obvious advantage is that the complex is on the outskirts of the city. There are these views from the window. There we see the forest. Next in the episode, we have a big interview with Serik Sapiev about reforms in Kazakhstan sports, family, and prize money in boxing. There is probably no sports fan in Kazakhstan who doesn't know who Serik Sapiev is. He's a native of Abay town of Karaganda region. He has won twice the World Boxing Championships. He has also won the Olympic Games and the Val Barker Cup. And now he is responsible for the development of sports in the country. Serik, hello, how are you? I'm fine. How's Kazakhstan sport coming back to life after the coronavirus pandemic? We permitted to hold training camps for the members of the Kazakhstan national team. The whole world was affected by quarantine, and the whole world is in equal condition. Did the postponement of the Olympic Games have a strong impact on organizational moments in Kazakhstan? It did not have a strong impact on organizational moments in Kazakhstan. We have adjusted the training of our Olympic athletes, license applicants until 2021. According to this adjustment, everyone starts training camps and is ready to compete in the Olympic Games in 2021. How difficult was the transition from the career of a brilliant athlete to the position of a civil servant?
Да, было сложно, вникал.
It was difficult.
Какие-то моменты не понимал.
I've been looking into it. I didn't understand some moments. I consulted with some colleagues, gradually joined the work.
В работу предложили мне отучиться по программе «Болошак». Я с удовольствием согласился.
I was offered to study at the Bolshak program. I gladly agreed.
Смотрел, как
I studied, learned about the sports sector in England.
вообще сфера спорта.
I came back and continued my working activity.
И продолжил свою, так сказать, трудовую деятельность.
А вот учеба в Англии насколько повлияла на мировоззрение?
How did studying in England influence you?
Что изменилось в вас?
When I studied, I was away from my homeland for a long time, and I felt this attraction to my native land. I've seen the experience, learned English, now I can communicate freely, meet people.
Спокойно разговаривать.
Don't you regret not moving to professional boxing?
Нет, я не жалел никогда.
No, I've never regretted going to professional boxing.
Что я себя не попробовал.
I've had thoughts that I didn't try another boxing.
Я был
I was
удовлетворен.
satisfied with the boxing that I had when I was in amateurs. In amateurs, you got everything that was possible.
Да, в любителях, да, все титулы, которые есть в любителях.
Yes, I collected all the titles in amateurs, and then it was a bit too late to go to professional boxing when I was 29.
Где-то завершил карьеру. Было немного поздно.
Довольно часто
Quite often, amateur boxers are given significant gifts by sponsors. Do you think it is right?
правильно?
Ну, с учетом заработных плат наших спортсменов,
Taking into account the salaries of our athletes, I think it is right that sponsors give gifts for results.
подарки за показанный результат. У наших спортсменов, например,
If you compare
сравнивать,
boxers' salaries to footballers, our salaries are several times less.
намного меньше зарплаты. И поэтому их нужно стимулировать.
A lot of young Kazakhstani guys who have not achieved great success in amateur boxing go to professional boxing. What is your opinion about it?
Это выбор каждого человека. Есть
It is the choice of each person. There are different styles of boxing.
Есть те боксеры,
There are punching boxers. Some boxers are slow in the early rounds. They should go to professional boxing.
им надо в профессионал. Потому что
We have fast boxing, 3 rounds. Some boxers need time to swing.
немного раскачиваются.
Who is in the weight class of 69 kilograms in the national team? Ablayhan Rusupov. I think the pressure will be high because this is the Kazakh weight. Yes, there will be pressure. He is already being asked this question. He's ready to become a champion. In terms of boxing, he's ready. His level corresponds to the level of champions. You were born into an international family. What traditions were you brought up in?
Думаю, что больше в казахских традициях, потому что мы
I think I was brought up more in Kazakh traditions. All my father's friends were Kazakh. My mother was born in Russia. She's from Mariinsk.
Она научилась делать вкусный бишбармак.
She learned how to make delicious beshbarmak and all the dishes of Kazakh cuisine. Our family followed Kazakh traditions. Each parent educated me in their way.
Ну, каждый по-своему давал воспитание. Мама всегда
My mother always taught me to behave with dignity, humility. It was noticeable in her.
вести себя достойно на людях. И в ней это прослеживалось.
Папа шахтер у вас.
Your father is a miner. Tell us please about his profession.
Папа 36 лет проработал.
My father worked in the mine for 36 years, exactly in the drilling area, in the area where there is the lava, where the coal is mined.
Смотря на отца, видел, что он зарабатывает, делает все для себя.
Looking at my father, I've seen how he earns a living, doing everything for the family to feed us.
Очень старался.
He tried very hard. In terms of education, we felt a tough man's character, but at the same time, there was support.
Но одновременно с этим и поддержка была.
Your two brothers and sister were also boxing. Who was the closest to the same level as yours?
Такому же уровню, как и вы.
Я, например, один раз выводил свою сестренку.
I took my sister to a boxing competition once. It was a regional championship.
Ну, она бой выиграла, была не
She
готова.
wasn't ready, but she
но
still
всё равно
won in the
выиграла в
final
финале и
and said that she would
я
not
больше
go to
никогда в
boxing
жизни
again.
не пойду. После того боя она очень устала, но в ней было видно, может, это впечатления мои, но я увидел в ней управляемость, что
She was
спортсмену
very tired, but she could manage herself well.
нужно,
An
чтобы
athlete
он был
needs it.
управляемый.
I saw the talent of an athlete in her. However, everyone could achieve a result if they
И она
worked
всегда
hard.
была активная в спорте. Обо всех можно сказать равно, что все бы могли достичь результата, если бы трудились.
You served 2 years in the army. As far as I remember, at that time they passed a law that the conscripts would only serve a year. Did you feel left out?
Нет, мне было не обидно. И мне повезло,
No, I
что
didn't feel
я
left out. I was lucky to have served CSKA.
нашей страны. И
I combined the military
совмещал,
service
так
with
сказать,
sports career.
военную службу со спортивной моей карьерой. Ездили по сборам.
I went to training camps. I served in a branch. I took the oath of office in Almaty. The service went smoothly.
Ну, служба прошла спокойно.
Did you do marching, go to the ground?
Да, конечно.
Yes, of course, we had marching drills.
Каждую неделю.
Dear friends, we're going to have a little challenge. Now we're going to hang on bars with Serik Sapiev. Whoever does more repetitions wins. I'll start. Serik will continue. I guess you've been preparing.
Я не готов.
I haven't been preparing. After the coronavirus, we're getting in shape. We're starting.
Начинаем. Я согласен, но ничего.
I'm okay with the draw. Come on, that's enough.
Нет,
We have
нет
no winner,
победителя,
no loser.
проигравшего.
Serik is a
Серик
champion.
Сапиев.
You're in good shape too.
В какой форме вы находитесь?
Serik, how's your
Потому
shape
что
now?
несколько лет назад
You left
спорт
sports a few years ago. Now you're in public service. Do you manage to train?
Да, удается, конечно, заниматься.
I train, of course. I keep the shape.
Поддерживаю форму.
You wanted me to show you something.
Давайте.
Yes,
Да,
everyone wants.
хотят. То есть мы убедились, да?
So we've
Что
made sure that the champion is good.
Реально хорош.
Have you ever had any desire to live the sports?
После школы, средней
After
школы,
school, my brother went to university on a grant. I was also planning to enter the same university that my brother went to.
поступил на грант, старший брат, на год меня
I
старше.
prepared for exams, but I
Начал
didn't get a
готовиться
grant.
к экзаменам, в общем. Ну, на грант, в
I
общем,
had
я
no
не
money to
пошел.
pay for my studies. I went back to a by-town city and started to attend the boxing section.
Параллельно учебы я
There was a moment when I could leave the sports after school and a moment after the Olympic Games in Beijing. There was an insulting defeat. I had a very hard time. I thought about ending my career. I thought about going to professional boxing.
Поражение и думал о завершении карьеры, думал о переходе в профессионалах.
Серик, мы нашли одно
Serik, we
интересное
found
фото.
one very interesting photo.
Я думаю, вы
I
помните.
think you remember.
Скажите
Tell me,
эту
please, the
историю.
background of this
Кто есть на
photo.
фото?
Мы ехали с учебно-тренировочных сборов.
We were going back from the training camp. There are Mirjan Rahimjanov, Birjan Zakubov,
Serik Sapiev,
Serik Sapiyev,
Бахтияр Артаев, Тарас,
Bakhtiar Artayev, Rustam Argebayev,
Алматы,
Gena Golovkin, and Maxim Golovkin, plus the coach of Mirjan Rahimjanov and me.
Rahimjanova. Вот, в общем, и я.
Вы поддерживаете
Do you keep in
общение с
touch with the guys?
Да,
Yes, I keep in touch with many of them.
Скучаете?
Do you miss the boxing ring?
Сейчас уже нет. Первые
No,
2
don't miss it
года
anymore.
Сейчас нет.
I missed it during the first 2 years. I'm training from time to time now, but I don't think about it anymore. It's a different life now.
Я уже
Now
не
I'm
думаю об
just
этом.
looking at athletes with friendly envy, thinking how
Белая
happy they
зависть.
are.
Смотришь на спортсменов,
They are now in the mountains, at training camps,
они
training,
сейчас в горах,
breathing
идут,
fresh air.
дышат свежим воздухом.
Какую перед собой
What
задачу
objectives
ставите
do you
для
set for yourself to improve Kazakhstan sport?
Сейчас у нас стоит задача
Now we have the objective to develop mass sports. I'm testing a project called Aula Fit.
Я сейчас тестирую один проект, называется Aula Fit.
It is going on very successfully in 2 yards in Nur-Sultan.
В Nur-Sultане проходит, очень успешно.
The instructors will teach ordinary people to do fitness in the yard. It will be free. There is of course a public association that organizes work and pays coaches.
Участвует общественное объединение, которое организовывает эту работу и платит тренерам. Во-вторых, пристальное внимание мы должны уделять
Secondly, we plan to pay close attention to the reserve, potential champions.
потенциальным, как говорится, известным потенциальным чемпионам.
We need to look at them, search for and support them, because at the age of 18, 20 years, the athletes are living the sports.
Спортсмены уходят, даже еще там 17-20 лет.
Serik, we see your big plans. It was interesting. Thank you for the interview. Thank you. Next in the episode, we will go to the hall of the Kazakhstan national arm wrestling team, where the mentor Marat Asainov is waiting for us. Let's get acquainted. Marat Asainov is the president of the Kazakhstan Arm Wrestling Federation, honored master of sport. Since the age of 13, he has been engaged in weightlifting. Having achieved considerable success in this sport, he went into arm wrestling and became a world champion.
Армрестлингом можно заниматься везде.
Arm wrestling can be practiced everywhere. It's not a costly sport.
Поэтому, я думаю, все
It attracts many people.
Соответственно, он
It's still very interesting. It's martial arts, two-man wrestling. It's such a positive sport.
позитивный вид спорта. Знаете.
Kazakhstan national team is among the leaders in the world arm wrestling. It regularly shows excellent results in the most prestigious competitions. As for the regions, arm wrestling is most dynamically developing in the south of the country, particularly in South Kazakhstan and Turkestan regions.
Вот здесь не только руки борются, здесь человек борется.
Here, not only hands are fighting, a man fights with his whole body, and the body, legs, are of great importance. The basis of the fight are the wrists. They should be straight. They should not take away each other's wrist. It's after the start. The wrists are straight. Elbows can move on a pillow, but you can't lift them. It's the basis. The shoulders should be straight. When the referee sets the opponent straight, they give the command, ready, go.
Подается команда ready go.
There are two basic rules. 1. You should never take your elbow off the armrest. 2. You should always touch the hand with your free hand. When he starts to fight, he can bend his wrist, and the body starts to fight.
Когда он начинает бороться, здесь он может изгибать кисть и корпусом бороться.
You see, he is helping with the legs and body.
Так что здесь такого нет.
It's not just one hand that's fighting. So, to have good results, it is important to have not only strong hands. As in any sport, you should be strong from the legs to the head. You have to think correctly how to outwit an opponent.
Думать правильно, как бороться, как соперника перехитрить.
Arm wrestling is available for people of all ages. It doesn't refer to either national or Olympic sports. It can be characterized as a popular sport. It is the most popular sport because in Kazakhstan, no holiday, no mass festivities can do without arm wrestling. Sometimes up to 1,000 participants gather at major international competitions.
Практически они, у них есть своя основная работа, где они работают.
All the guys have their main job. Arm wrestling is like a hobby. We're not professionals. This is not an Olympic sport when the athletes can live on it. We haven't gotten to that yet, but I think it's going to happen someday.
До этого мы еще не дошли, но я думаю, когда-нибудь это случится.
We end our episode with the video section of the week. There was a mass flash mob in Russia in support of the Biathlon World Championships in 2021. The word biathlon, in which the participants lined up, was read from a bird's eye view.